Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations. Your brother hopefully puts this word in truth and sincerity. Alright, I'm back with another article here, and it's from the Zero Hedge. And it says, this article came out on Tuesday, so which was yesterday. It says 9:55 p.m., so it was actually last night. But it says 150 meat trucks stranded at U.S.-Canada border as protests continue. Okay, and this is actually a very big deal. It's a huge deal. Okay, when it comes to dealing with the supply chain issues, not only with just goods and services, but especially dealing with this food, you can see that it's gonna be a manufactured famine coming. I mean, it's clear as day just looking at what's all going on. All right, but I'm gonna read this article here. It says the U.S. is Canada's largest export buyer for beef and Canada's largest importer supplier. Any disruption to the meat trade between both countries would have severe consequences for meat processors in Canada and consumers in the U.S. And if you know anything about the American or the American diet or the great diet over here, is consumed with meats every single day of the week. I remember growing up, if you cooked a meal and you just had all vegetables and fruit, and you went to someone else, they were like, well, where the meat at? What kind of meat you got going? You gotta have either some pork, some chicken, some beef. You know, you gotta have something, some turkey, something. That's well, I know that's the way I grew up. You always had to have a meat to go along with everything. So we consume meat on the day, like every single day. Okay, that's the American diet, which is a terrible diet, actually. All right, you actually need, meat is fine, especially the clean meats. Okay, that's cool, but you can sometimes take a day or two without eating, some meat. I know I do it sometimes. I go like 2, sometimes 3 days not eating any meat. I might just do like some beans and rice, just something like that, or some vegetables or whatever. Okay, but anyway, that's aside the point. But just them having a shortage on meat will hit this place hard, and I'm gonna make a statement later on too. But I'm gonna continue on. Days after the Freedom Convoy of truckers protesting the Juicy Juice mandates in Ottawa, the country's capital, protests are spreading to U.S.-Canadian border crossings and furthering logistical headaches. Bloomberg reports 150 trucks packed with beef and bound for the U.S. are stuck in a traffic jam at the border at Coates, Alberta, and the Canadian Meat Council said. Since the weekend, a convoy of truckers has slowed processing times between Alberta and Montana. All right. I'm trying to see if this video gonna play, because it's a video of the no, that's not it. Slocky. This is here. It says, we reported as of Monday, more than 100 truckers blocked the U.S.-Canadian border between Alberta and Montana. And it says more than 100. Think about 118 wheelers full of product being blocked or stuck at the border. You know how much of product that truly is that's not getting to where it needs to get to, not getting to these stores. All right. Here it is. This is the video I was talking about. It says it's a massive convoy of truckers have blockaded the U.S. Canada border crossing into Alberta. Look at how many trucks this is. Make it. Okay. So like it. You see all them trucks? I'm gonna play it one more time. There's a long line. When you look off in the distance. But you think about that, over 118 wheelers. All right. This says on Sunday, Alberta Premier Jason Kenney called for an end to the blockade, stating Canadians have a democratic right to engage in lawful protests. I urge those involved in this truck convoy protest to do so as safely as possible and not to create road hazards that could lead to accidents or unsafe conditions for other drivers. It is not yet clear what the provincial or federal government is doing to facilitate a resolution. The longer this takes, it will cause more supply chain issues, and this will affect everyone from producer to consumer. Marie-France McKinnon, a spokesperson for the council, said, what sparked, here's another picture here, if you can see it, but it says, what sparked convoys across border crossings and the capital is a new measure imposed by the Canadian government on January 15, requiring the unjuiced cross-border truckers to quarantine upon returning home, making it virtually impossible for them to work. So think about those who are crossing the borders. And now I know the place, the alphabetical thing out in Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about, the alphabetical place. Now they recently cut it down of the quarantine time from 10 days to 5 days. Now, once again, I'm not sure what they're using because they didn't state it, but their quarantine time could either be 5 days, it could be 10 days, or it could even be the 14 days. Remember from when it first started. So we don't know, but either way, as they say in this world, time is money. You know, if you got a certain amount of time to get that product from point A to point B to your destination, and any time that it takes longer than that, you're losing money. Okay, and with them being cut off, or you have that convoy, you have them dealing with the quarantine and all that's gonna add on to the problems, okay, that's already here. But it says trucker convoys are so disruptive to trade between the U.S. and Canada that local officials are expected to take action to resolve the revolt. Okay. Every truck taken out of the supply chain is one less truck that can haul goods. Exactly. This comes as IRS-related worker absenteeism and labor shortages have prolonged supply chain woes. Okay, yeah, that's why I said you're dealing with all of that. Snarling chains, even more, has been an answer by the people to band together against medical tyranny by the government. There's just one problem. Blocking cross-border trade, or at least slowing it down, will further supply chain issues and could spark meat shortages in the U.S. You see that? That's it on the article there. All right, but think about that supply chain. Okay, you have a certain amount of product that's already in movement, from point A to point B or to the destination, and you also have a certain amount of product that's in the stores already. Okay, but what happens when you cut it off? Okay, you completely cut it off or stop the incoming, the production, okay, from whatever end, whether it be from the farmer's end or from the trucker's end. Either way, you're gonna, when you, like for instance, if you have a straw within a drink, okay? And you're drinking out of that straw, okay? The liquid, or I'll just use water for example, the water is coming up as you're drinking. If I were to take that straw and cut it in half, right down the middle, that means I severed the connection between your mouth and the water, okay? Now, what's left in the straw is gonna literally be what you're left with, okay? So what's left in the straw, it may feel like you still have a lot left, but once that runs out, you have no more. You see that? And that's when it's gonna hit America, Babylon the Great, the hardest it ever has hit before. Because remember, here they are full on decadence. They are full, you know, these people here don't know what a famine is. These people don't know what it's like to go 1 day, 2 days, 3 days without eating. Okay? These people here, shoot, they go crazy off, like for instance, if they just cut out all chicken wings, just all chicken spots are gone. These people here go in an uproar. Your Popeyes, churches, to what other spots there is? Basically all chicken spots. Wingstop. If all Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, whatever. If all chicken just was gone, snap your finger, it's all gone. These people will go crazy. These people will riot. I promise you that. These people, that's how crazy and low level minded these people are. All right, but enough of me rambling on. Let's get to the scriptures. All right, let's see. The second Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. What is Egypt? House of bondage. Well, we're not in bondage over here. Or we're not still in bondage over here. And we know that this is spiritual Egypt. All right. Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Okay, this is spiritual Egypt. America, Babylon the Great is going to be smitten with plagues once again. All right, and famine was a major plague that took place in Egypt, and famine is prophesied to happen once again over here. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna grab this one here. This is Job chapter 5 verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Who shall deliver thee? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Shall no evil touch who? These elect. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. All right. So we know World War III is coming. We know famine is coming. But guess who's going to be redeemed? The elect. Guess who's going to be caught up? Guess who's going to be called out? The elect. Okay. And we have to believe that. That's what we expect. Yeah, we're of the hopeful elect. We hope that we are that number, but we believe that our labor is not in vain. Our hard work that we're putting in, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. Okay. Our labor is not going to be in vain. All right. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Man, to die of hunger, that's a gruesome and terrible death. When your body begins to feed on itself, okay? You would prefer to just be taken out. You prefer to just take a bullet to the head or chop your head off, go to the guillotine. You'll prefer to just bleed out rather than sit there and and literally watch you're watching yourself die. That's why it says these pine away. You're slowly dying. Okay. And it says stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So, you know, he let's see, this is Psalms chapter 33 verse 18. Behold, the eye of the Yahweh Bashim Shai is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. All right. So you have to have the fear of the Lord. Remember, the fear of the Lord is the beginning. I like to say it that way because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, or the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai is the beginning of wisdom. It's the beginning of understanding, and it's the beginning of love. And what is love? The fulfilling of the law. Okay. And upon them that hope in his mercy. Okay. But it says that's who the eye of Yahweh Bashim Shai is upon, those that fear him. Why? Verse 19. What's the purpose? To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. So when everyone else is pining away, everyone else is getting taken out by the sword, everyone else is dying, everyone else is chaotic. Okay. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. Okay. With the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures is what's going to keep us stable in those times where all hell is breaking loose. Okay. Because we believe on these scriptures. This is our hope. Our hope is in Yahweh Bashim Shai to give us that expected end like he said he would. Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right. And what does it mean by the sown places? Okay. Those are your, your field, your seeds, your planted, your gardens, your fields, dealing with your farmers, which is why if you notice that the farmers, they've been losing crops. They've been being paid to destroy crops. Okay. By the government. Okay. And that's affecting the food supply. And then it says the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Now, when people get wind of, oh, it's going to be a famine, they what they start doing, they start panicking. They start going in the stores and doing what they call panic buying. Well, I usually go and get 2 cans of beans. I'm gonna get 30 cans of beans. You know, I usually get two rolls of toilet paper, or toilet tissue. I'm gonna get five cases of toilet tissue. Don't ask me why. I just had to bring that out again. That was just too funny. Okay, but the people will begin to panic buy, and thus that's why the storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, because it's going to happen in an instant. Okay, because these stores don't have that much of a surplus supply to keep up with the demand when people are going to be panic buying. Okay. This 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And right now, victuals meaning food. Okay, commodities. All right. Things you can consume. Goods. All right. And right now, they are still cheap. Okay. They're still not, insurmountable. They're still affordable. But if I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but these prices are slowly going up. Inflation is happening right up under our nose. But it's not hyperinflation, but the inflation is currently happening. When you go in these stores, just look at these prices. They are slowly hiking. They slowly going up. All right. Victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And people are still walking around like nothing's going on, nothing's happening. You talk to someone about you mentioned famine or inflation. They go, oh yeah, famine, yeah, inflation, yeah, I know about that. But they still continue on, not knowing anything. So the people, they gonna think themselves to be a good case, which they do. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And we can see evils are truly growing. Okay, the love of many waxing cold to everyone. People are literally cold-hearted. Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right. But what does that mean for the Lord's Yahweh Shem Shai's elect? Let's get it. This is going to be Isaiah chapter 65. This Isaiah chapter 65 verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called ye did not answer. When I spake ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Okay? So, if you have the fear of the Lord, the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you serve him, you call on that name, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, okay, you're gonna be good. That's it there, okay. But just wanted to bring out that article there, okay. So call on Yahweh Bashem Ashah Bashem Kakodash. Hope you edified. Shalom.